Hello there, my name is Eyokeme and this is the CIA Corner here on TAF TV. Today we'll be talking about the Ministry of Livestock as brought upon by our dearest president and the federal government in quote. Most Nigerians are already calling it the Ministry of Cows, the Ministry of Goats. And just like Nigerians are asking already, are we going to start having Minister for Goats and Foreign Affairs or Minister for Sheep and Human Resources? This is a new development here in Nigeria. Now, don't go anywhere. I'll bring you details of this story after the break. Alright, you're welcome back from that very quick break. Now, late 2023, National Livestock Reforms gave recommendations to our dearest president to create a Ministry for Livestock Resources. Now, it has actually come to limelight because that recommendation has actually become a rule and it is now a ministry in Nigeria. Now, our president actually agreed to this and signed it clearly that he has actually inaugurated Ministry for Livestock Resources. That's to say, this ministry would actually cater for our livestock, that is our cows, our sheep, and the likes of them. Cows, precisely, just like Nigerians are putting it. And he also said, the president said, the essence of this particular ministry is to put an end to the menace that is currently going on between our farmers and our herdsmen so that they can finally come to terms with each other. We are not actually new in Nigeria when it comes to the fight between our farmers and our herdsmen and how cattle are actually destroying the crops in the farmland. So the president actually putting this as a ministry is actually a good thing, but if we want to consider it on two angles, just like I always say, put it on the part of advantage and the part of disadvantage. It has a very good advantage because it will actually help to curtail the menace between our farmers and our herdsmen because they will now stand alone. Our cattle and the likes of it, our livestock in quote, would actually be catered for in a different ministry. But also looking at it, most Nigerians are speculating, why not place this Ministry of Livestock under the Ministry of Agriculture that we already have? Now remember, now just like we know that the agricultural sector has four departments, I will actually say it that way. We have the crop production, the forestry, the livestock, and fishery. And all of a sudden, the federal government are saying they have created a ministry already for livestock. Most Nigerians are asking, I hope they are actually going to make provisions for fishery. And I also hope they are going to also make ministries for crop production because all of these sectors work hand in hand under the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, the big question is, just like every single Nigerian is asking, why did the federal government not place this Ministry of Livestock under the Ministry of Agriculture? Now, also considering, just like I said, considering the disadvantage that comes with this, remember, as a country, we are going through a lot in terms of our economy. Now, the bills. Now, let's talk about the budget aspect of this ministry. Our sub-budget now will now be divided into two parts, one for agriculture and one for the Ministry of Agriculture, one for the Ministry of Livestock, thereby telling back on our present economy. Though I know our federal government are looking at better ways of improving the economy. And one of the better ways they're actually thinking of is actually creating a livestock ministry. That is just like every single Nigerians on the social media that are saying that this is some level of misplaced priority. And another question Nigerians are also asking, how are we sure that this government have actually gone back to their drawing tables, just like what they said? Or are they still playing the trial and error thing? Because it looks as if, okay, this present government are like, okay, let's test and see how this one will go. Let's test and see how this particular idea will go. If it doesn't work out, then we back out of it. It will also interest you to know that in as much as this ministry has been created, Nigerians, especially the South, the Southeast and other geopolitical zones are also raising fingers and asking questions. Why is it that the Northerners actually brought out an idea for a Ministry of Livestock and the president all of a sudden approved it? Could this be some level of agreement they had already that, okay, once you step into power, this is what you're going to do for the Northerners? We know some Basbos has actually held back to coming from the Northerners to our Southeast president, saying he's one-sided. He's not carrying other geopolitical zones because he is a Southeast man. He's not carrying the Northerners. And we have also had those reactions. Could it be the reason why our president actually said, okay, let me just satisfy the Northerners and give them a full-blown Ministry of Livestock? Now, another question Nigerians are also asking on social media. What happens to the South-South? What if they start demanding for their dogs? I'm actually borrowing the words of our brother from Arise TV. He asked a question. What if the South-South actually wake up one morning and say, okay, we want to legalize our dogs and make it, okay, let's write back to the president and say we are actually legalizing our dogs. Let's get approval, and all of a sudden our president will write and get ministry, because all of these things are valuable. Remember some few months back that the Northerners were of the opinion that, okay, cattle should actually be treated as citizens of Nigeria. Now that is one of the questions that our president is yet to actually answer. Could this be a way of finally making cattle citizens of our dearest nation, Nigeria? They should have freedom of movement like every single citizen here in Nigeria. Now, could this actually be some level of political gimmicks? Or so could this actually be some level of political favoritism now to the Northerners? Already it has been passed into law, and there is a Ministry of Livestock here in our dearest nation, Nigeria. And also, that's to say, having this Ministry of Livestock here in our dearest nation, Nigeria, we are about to have, just like I earlier said, we're about to have the Minister for Livestock, and other offices would actually be created. Some persons will be employed. That's actually good that's actually good for our dearest nation, Nigeria. But at this point, is this very, very necessary, depending on how our economy is? Just like I earlier said, the money that should have been channeled to Ministry of Agriculture to actually boost our agricultural sector will now be splitted into two parts. I don't know if the federal government have actually considered that part. So I feel the Minister of Information should actually come out and clear the air on this particular matter. Let it not look as if, okay, the president is actually raising fingers to the Northerners and trying to, okay, give favoritism to the Northerners alone regarding this particular ministry. Because this ministry now, who is going to head it? I overheard a Nigerian ask, is it the cow with the biggest horn that will actually head this particular ministry? All right, now we don't know what the federal government are actually holding, because this is Nigeria. We just wake up one day and we discover that, okay, a new thing has come to play. And one of that is what we're sharing with you today in regards to the Ministry of Livestock. Just in case you actually see a name on your TV and is written below Minister for Livestock, do not be surprised. This is Nigeria. Nothing is actually new. This has been the CIA Corner here on TAF TV, where we make commentaries regarding headlines just like what we have shared with you today. Remember, you also can be part of this show. Do well to follow us up on all our social media handles, and if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe. My name is Ayo Keme, and I've been your co-host for today. Do well to take care of yourself.